I learned, in order to go to the places that you've never been,
Pepper was the
you
greatest
must do the
artist
things
our
that you've
race
never
has ever
done.
produced.
And that brought me here. I learned that if I fall, make sure I fall on my back. Cause if I can look up, I can stand up. Come on!
All my life I had the odds against me. Ever since I was a kid, there was a legend in.
That is known worldwide. Everybody knows the term and the word, but there's a lot of illusions and spookism that's attached to it. That term or that word is Illuminati. To understand truthfully what Illuminati is, right? We must understand the root of the word, right? So Illuminati is a Latin word. It comes from Spain or Old Spain, the Old Latin. If you look it up on the etymology dictionary, the first two sentences will say that Illuminati is literal, the literal translation, or figurative, the figurative translation of Illuminati means enlightenment, right? And then it also says that the root word of Illuminati comes from the word in Latin, illuminare, which means to bring light, to shed light, light bearer, or light, right? Now it goes on to say, in the 16th century, it was attached to a group of people in Spain, and then it goes on and it was attached to other people in Bavaria, etc. This term Illuminati, right? Now, what we have to understand is that the term or the word Illuminati is a word that holds meaning, regardless of who it was attached to, regardless of who chooses to say that they're this or they're that, or regardless of who says, hey, oh, you're Illuminati, right? I've had the messages. Trust me, I've had those messages in my inbox. People saying, oh, you're Illuminati, oh, you sold out to the Illuminati, etc. So I just want to dispel a lot of myths. And I'll probably have a podcast, or in the podcast, the first podcast that we're going to be having on Mexico, the Moorish Connection, will probably cover a lot of that as well. But I just wanted to touch on it just briefly here in the pep talk. So like I said, the word Illuminati, there's a root word that Illuminati comes from, and that's illuminare, which means light, or bearer of light, or bringer of light. Now, we know light has always been, for those who are religious and those who grew up in the church, we always know that the light represents God, right? Or, Jesus was the one who brought the light into the world. Or, I'll put it like this. There's over 30 different verses, Old Testament and New Testament, that speak about the light. Some of them speak about making a prophet or a messenger the light to his people. Some of it talks about, like, there's a verse that says, Lord, your word is like a lamp unto my feet, right? Meaning that it lights the path, the pathway for that person to walk. And I believe that was either in Proverbs or Psalms. So it was either written by King David or King Solomon, right? So when we think about light in reference to religion, there's nothing evil that should be equated with somebody who is talking about having light or bearing light or bringing light, right? Yet in this world, across the board, Illuminati is equated with something that's evil, right? And so we have to think to ourselves, when did the light become evil? When did seeing something, or people who bring us light or bring something to us that is of light, how do we see that as evil? Anything that can be equated with evil cannot be the light, because, even in the Bible, it says that evil lurks in the shadows. It lurks in the darkness. So to go even further, okay, right? This is the reason why I wanted to touch on Illuminati. And the thing is because of the Eye of Providence. It's a symbol that is known in modern times to be associated with what people want to call the Illuminati. Now, is there such thing as the Illuminati? As far as, it being an organization of some sort. There was an organization that was called the Illuminati. There was a few different organizations that called themselves the Illuminati. Some of them no longer exist today. Some of them may exist today. But what you have to understand and what you have to ask yourself is the Illuminati a group of people that is trying to govern the world? Are they trying to hinder the world and create all this evil stuff? Or is it a group of people that is trying to make sure that God's plan comes to pass? And that's something that you have to really think about. The all-seeing eye, or the eye of providence on the back of the dollar bill. Or, a lot of people know about the Illuminati in modern times through hip hop or the industry. And the thing is that a lot of these artists, they might not even know what they're doing. They might not even know what these symbols mean truthfully, or maybe the symbol holds a different meaning to them in what organization that they belong to, if they belong to an organization. Like I said, most of these artists who people are looking up to, or they're saying, oh, they're a part of the Illuminati, they're a part of this, they're a part of that. Most of them don't even know what they're doing. I mean, just look at what's going on with P. Diddy. A lot of them are a part of something totally different than what you think. So getting back to the Eye of Providence, right? So the Eye of Providence was first found or first seen in the ancient Egyptian culture. Now, for those of you who are researchers and you've done your research, you know that the Egyptians were the last surviving civilization after the last world cataclysm, which is known as Noah's flood, which happened between 10 to 15,000 years ago, right? That's what brought the decline to the last ancient world empire. Which some people will say is myth, but we'll end up touching on that too. But it's Atlantis, the great Atlantis. That's what brought Atlantis to a decline and literally pretty much wiped out life on Earth, save for a few people, a few civilizations, right? So the Eye of Providence was first found or first seen in Egyptian culture. Most know it as the Eye of Horus, right? The Eye of Horus, or the Eye of Providence, has always symbolized the all-seeing eyes of God. God is all-seeing, all-knowing, and incomprehensible. We can all agree upon that no matter what religion you practice. Christianity, Buddhism, Hinduism, Rastafarianism, Islam. It doesn't matter. We can all agree that Allah is all-seeing, all-knowing, and incomprehensible. You get what I'm saying? So the Eye of Horus was always synonymous, or a symbol that was used for protection and that was used to symbolize the great God of the universe, or the one God, right? And there'll be people who will debate this with me, but that's what it meant. In more modern times, it's been largely associated with Freemasonry. And if you happen to sit down with a member of a Masonic movement, 9 times out of 10 they'll also tell you the same thing, that the triangle with the all-seeing eye, or the Eye of Providence, inside of it is symbolic of God, the great God, the all-seeing, the all-knowing. And it's largely been kept, this is the thing is that this was world knowledge, prior to 14, like 52 or something like that, 1453, probably even sooner than that, probably like 1492 or something like that. Like before 1492, this was all common knowledge. You get what I'm saying? It wasn't hidden. It wasn't considered occult or esoteric teachings. It wasn't taught in secret. You get what I'm saying? It was known across the board, but it became, in modern times, it was forced to be practiced in secret. And what else was forced to be practiced in secret? We have to start looking across the board and see some of those similarities. Now, the question is there a group of people that are trying to control the world, right? Maybe there is. Who knows? Maybe there's not. You know what I mean? Who knows? But what you have to ask yourself is that anybody that is doing something that is evil cannot support the ideology of spreading light or revealing light, especially, like I said, light has always been equivalent to righteousness or God. And some people will be like, "Oh, well, that's blasphemous and this and that." Well, let's really we'll go dig deep into it. But the Bible holds a lot of secrets. You know what I mean? The same Bible that we have all grown up reading, it holds a lot of secrets. Jesus was an initiate. Whether you want to believe it or not, there's a lot of proof that he was not just an initiate in one secret society or secret order, but in multiple secret societies and secret orders. In fact, it's known that Jesus was born into a secret order. Temple of Heliopolis, was one of the places where he went and was accepted as a student by the Grand Hierophant. You know what I mean? Hierophant, however you say it. But Jesus was an initiate in secret orders. You get what I'm saying? That's why he was able to do what he needed to do. He came showing the possibilities of man. He came love made manifest. And purity paved the way for love. It's not, for those people who really do the research and jump in, it's not a big secret that Jesus and John were cousins. You get what I'm saying? John was the forerunner for Jesus in those days. Purity made flesh so that men might comprehend love. You get what I'm saying? So we really got to start digging in deep. A lot of us, we consider ourselves devout believers in whatever we believe in, whether it's, like I said, Rastafarianism, Judaism, Buddhism, Christianity, Hinduism. All of these religions have stories of Jesus. And if we're to be practicing and following in the way that Jesus practiced and followed, there's secrets in that Bible. Excuse me. And some of those secrets, have been kept secret and withheld from the outside world to preserve the message, to preserve it. And we're in the age of enlightenment right now. So if we were to use the Latin word Illuminati, we're in the age of Illuminati right now. There's a saying that says, "Many are called, but few are chosen." And it's not just a saying, but it's a Bible verse. It says, "Many are called, but few are chosen." And in the school of thought that I come from, we add on to that. We say, "Many are called and few are chosen, and the chosen choose themselves." You have to want to be a part of something greater. You got to want and have the courage to embrace your destiny. For all those who truly love Jesus, it's one thing to say that Jesus. It's another thing to be like, I'm related to the man. You know what I mean? So, like I said, we'll dive in deeper. If you have any questions, drop them. I'll read the questions, and I'll address it in the next the Moorish Connection pep talk, or we'll cover it in the actual podcast. But I want to dispel some of the myths, you know what I mean, that have surrounded the term or the word Illuminati. And, the Eye of Providence. These are symbols that are yours. And that have been taken and perverted and made you believe that they didn't belong to you, or that they were something other than what they are. And the all-seeing eye is the symbol of God. And I'm going to leave you with this. The all-seeing eye, it's been proven that the soul is encapsulated in the pineal gland. Pineal gland is located somewhere around here in the brain, right? Here, right? So when you look at the pineal gland from an aerial position from the top, say you cut away the skull and you're looking at the brain, and you take away the top layer of the brain, because the pineal gland is encapsulated inside the brain. You take away that top layer of the brain and you look at the pineal gland and you look at it from the top, it literally resembles the Eye of Horus. So, when I say that each and every one of us has a piece of God within us, that's what I mean. We are all literally a part of God, and God is literally a part of us. There's so much There's so much more to life than what we know. And I'm going to leave you with that, and I'm going to cut this video short. And I hope you guys come out to the next pep talk and to the podcast. And we'll be having the next podcast with the good brother, one of my mentors by the name of Sharif Anailbe. He's also the National Press Secretary for an organization called Moorish Science Temple of America Incorporated, which was founded in 1913 AD. And you can look him up too. Like, he has his own channel. He's very informative. So you can look him up too. Look up some of his videos. Check him out.
My head hangs low while I'm looking at the news. Another brother gone, now we looking at reviews. Everybody gone, meditating in the hate. I guess we really all got a lot on our plate. Never contemplating about the pain that we cause. Never understanding that we're all made with flaws. Never be the man to give another man a break. I never want to destroy the things my hands create. You gotta ask yourself why the love is always fake. Or is it the energy that your vibe reciprocates? We all got tendencies that make others feel irate. But if we're only focused on the things that make us hate, how can we ever decide to ever change our fate? Let's erase the hate.